Smack talking where the legends live and the rookies get schooled in law. This ain't just talk. This is smack talking raw. You ready, Pinky? Judge always Ron. Let's lay the smack down. Boom!
Welcome to another episode of Smack Talking Raw. Wow, I can't talk. I'm your boy Pinky, and we got Ronstradamus in the house again, rocking that Broncos gear. Looking good, buddy. Looking good.
For those of you that don't know, now you know it's getting ready to be football season, Pinky.
You got to get in where you fit in, from what I understand.
That's right.
Love to have you in Broncos country, buddy.
Cheers, buddy.
Hey, guys. Cheers. We had a great episode last week. Check it out if you missed it. It was really, really good time. Like, comment, subscribe, reach out. Love to hear from you guys. I think we're going to start doing a couple live shows here and there so you guys can comment during the show. And we got a lot to talk about, Ron, so we're going to just start rocking and rolling, buddy. I watched, just so I know, did you catch SmackDown, Raw, and NXT? Where were we at on that?
I checked out all three after you had sent me the message. Got a lot of stuff going on because of Tuesday and everything like that, but fitted it all in. Incredible. So just break it down. Let's get it.
Man, I tell you, it's Money in the Bank week, so I'm super excited. Royal Rumble and Money in the Bank are like my two events outside of WrestleMania and SummerSlam. I think those are like the pinnacles, right? Those should be, culminations of stories throughout the year. And then we've got these, Royal Rumble kind of starts, and Money in the Bank is another one that it's devices we use to generate new stories, right? Yes. And new characters, new champions. So really excited for that. SmackDown. I tell you, man, 3 hours. I'm starting to think they're getting their groove. I know when it first started being 3 hours, it just felt like it was really tough to fill that time. I think they've been getting better, been getting in a little bit more of a groove of filling that 3 hour time frame. And from this last SmackDown, man, I got to say, the watching the tag team division, men's tag team division, all come together and then get stomped by the Wyatt Six, like, that was awesome. Like, this tag team division is so damn good. And now you've got Wyatt Six, who they might actually give a really good run on this tag team. Like, I'm just stoked, man. Like, I don't even know how they're going to rotate. They're going to have to rotate the belt multiple times. Like, it just
right.
Like, all these guys are champions. Like, they're all champions. What are your thoughts on that one?
It's about time that they got the Wyatt Six involved in things. And a few years ago, prior to me knowing you, Pinky, I always thought that they should have a Money in the Bank and have the Wyatts not be involved in the match and have them be the ones that go up and grab the Money in the Bank briefcase, right? And then they say, okay, you want your briefcase back. You got to cut. Like, that's storytelling right there, right? Like, at the end of the day, the people that were in the match, they didn't get the chance to get the briefcase. The Wyatts did. But in this case, you're absolutely right. With regards to the tag team division, SmackDown is killing it with regards to the tag team division. And have the Wyatts step right back in there. Absolutely outstanding in every single step of the way. Incredible.
Really, really good. Was there anything else? SmackDown being on Friday, I watch it Saturday morning while I'm drinking coffee. I'm an old man, so I start to forget by the time we roll to next Thursday. Was there anything else that kind of stood out to you on that SmackDown?
I like the Naomi and Bianca Belair interaction. That's kind of like it's kind of like a subtle like Mickey James and Trish Stratus kind of thing going on right there.
Oh
Like
man, Naomi getting
really
dark.
cool. Yeah,
Naomi
really
getting
cool.
dark, talking about being in her parents' house, and like this stuff's about to pop off. And I feel bad. Last week when we talked about current storylines in the females division, in Lyra and Becky being the main storyline, I completely forgot the Naomi, Jade, Bianca. On TikTok, someone actually commented on that and was like, "Hey, did we just kind of forget?" And I was like, "Actually, I did forget. Thank you for reminding me. Actually, that is a pretty damn good feud that's going on and a good story that is, I'm really interested. I'm really digging this Naomi heel turn. I think Naomi's a fantastic wrestler. I love her character most of the time. I love her entrance. I love her energy. I am digging this, and I think it's a really good way to continue to spotlight her. And we'll talk about her a little bit more once we start talking Money in the Bank.
Yeah, we also had Cody Rhodes come out and give an outstanding promo. I love the way Cody came out, and Cody's the quintessential babyface for the last, if you think about it, since he came back to WWE at WrestleMania 38 and fought Seth Rollins in a really good match at WrestleMania 38. Then he came back and he challenged Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39 and WrestleMania 40, lost to John Cena at 41. He's been in the top tier of WrestleMania lore, and his presence back is really, really good. And he's a little bit mysterious because he's come back and he's like the good guy / if WWE really wanted to make this story incredible, they have The Rock come back after the fact and say, this is the reason why I didn't come back, is because I wanted Cody Rhodes' soul, and now he's proved it to it. And then that would make the story more viable than The Rock just pieced out. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think they're that smart. Pinky,
I don't think they're that smart. I don't think they're that smart either, Ron. Like, that makes complete sense to me. I do know Cody did mention The Rock in his promo this week, and started talking about his soul is still for sale. He threw that out there. Right. That was a little nugget.
Yes.
I will say I like this promo. It had Cody, it had Jay, it had Logan, it had John. But I gotta say, if you're gonna end the show with a promo, you can't have Jey Uso yeeting for 10 minutes of the promo and eating up all the time. You just can't. I love it. We all love the yeet. It was great. Robert was sending me video of his niece and nephew yeeting. They were watching the show with him, and I was loving that. And I was like, man, that's so cool. And then, but also I was like, wait a minute, like everybody's in the ring, and we're just yeeting. And it's taking so long, and that just I felt like that took away from what we, more of what we could have got. But it's good having Cody back. It's a good feeling. I feel like if we can now get Roman back on a consistent basis, then I think we might start. Maybe we'll start to feel more momentum in the booking and the stories and everything once we kind of get back to full strength.
Well, I think that one of the things that WWE missed is you have both of your main champions inside of a tag team match, right? And so another miss by Triple H. Let's put something at stake. The world heavyweight champion on each brand, their title's on the line, and whoever loses their title, right? So there will be a double champion. So Logan Paul could become the world heavyweight champion, or Cody Rhodes could become the undisputed title again. They're wasting an opportunity to make this worth something with some big stakes on the line. I
like that a lot.
So I think about booking. It's like you have a 2-night SummerSlam coming up, and you really you have to fill 2 nights of SummerSlam. So you're like, okay, the tag team match on night 1, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus John Cena and Logan Paul. The winning team has the championships. Then the losing team, they fight in the first night of first match of wrestling night 2, and whoever wins that match gets a title shot against the holder of the title that they choose at the end of at SummerSlam night 2. It writes itself.
I'm telling you, buddy, we gotta get you out of doing mortgages and just writing stories, bro. That's it. We're gonna make this happen. Although I think you might have to. Well, they'd probably make you move to Connecticut. They probably would. You probably have to move to Sanford, Connecticut.
There's worse places I could live. So the thing I'm gonna cut in, Pinky, and you got the rest of the show, but I gotta say this, bro, just because the five-time WC champion, he would say this, Stephanie Vauquer. Let's get to it. So Stephanie Vauquer made her entry to Monday Night Raw, and that girl is absolute superstardom. She's Hall of Famer. I predict that right now. She's a WWE Hall of Famer right now. What do you think?
Dude, you don't even, man, I'm in love. I already told the wife she's in the top 5 now. Like, she's in the top 5. Like, I've listened to almost all of her interviews. There's not as many interviews with her. She's now getting more comfortable talking in English and doing that. So she's been doing some more media over the last month or two. She's a superstar. Her wrestling's fantastic. Her gimmick is great. The Dark Angel, her music. I mean, it's her presentation day one has been amazing. Her, like, when she gets behind and the crowd goes nuts. When she gets behind a girl, grabs them by their hair and puts up the 1, and we all know what's about to happen. I mean, everybody goes nuts, man. And my wife was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "She's doing the devil's kiss," because I was doing the Booker T wasn't there no more, so I was doing it for him. I was like, and then she did it again to she did Liv Morgan, and then she did it again to
Ivy
what's
Nile.
her name? Ivy Nile. And it was like, that was a little bit quicker one. Ivy Nile got out of that one pretty quick, but still, like, man, it was great. Having her win, I think wasn't a huge shock. I kind of felt like maybe they might not let her win because she's already got a match earlier in the day at Worlds Collide. She's got a tag team match. So she's pulling double duty. And, bro, she's in a tag match on Friday Night SmackDown this week.
Right.
So now she's got a Friday night match. She's got a match midday at Worlds Collide, and then she's in Money in the Bank. Like, hopefully they give her Monday off. Hopefully Monday she's just talking. She just comes in and starts talking shit on Monday. They let her not worry about wrestling on Monday. Give her a little bit of a break. Oh,
man, the women's division is heads and shoulders above the men's product right now.
Oh man, it's they're just so deep. All their characters so deep, and there's a topic that's another topic for NXT I wanted to touch base with you on. But before we get there, the other thing from Raw, how shocked were you at that remaining Money in the Bank qualifier match on who won that? Were you pretty shocked about that?
You're talking about the main event?
Yeah, so you had CM Punk, AJ Styles, and El Grande Americano.
Well, what I thought was going to happen, and we just talked about Stephanie Vauquer, and but at the end of the day, what I also say is that I thought Ivy Nile, they were going to give her a rub because Chad Gable's group, they've been just taking loss after loss after loss after loss after loss. And to build up that stable and to build more stability inside the group, give one of them a win. And I thought that Ivy Nile might take the win there. And so to see Chad Gable, of which there was no tattoo on him, what an incredible run that is. As if you look at the video going back, there is no tattoo on his back on El Grande Americano. How they pulled that off, I have no idea, but there is no like at first, one of the things that I did is I was like, all right, if this is Chad, I want to see Chad Gable, and they always have El Grande Americano, definitely away from the camera shot, right? Well, they actually
Right.
had him in the ring, and I slowed it down. I was like, okay, I want to see his tattoo. No tattoo there.
Ooh, buddy. Ooh, buddy. Conspiracy starts. I mean, that's at the end of the day, at some point, El Grande Americano's mask is coming off.
Yes.
That's the whole point to this. At some point, it's got to happen. So I'll look forward to that. But I was pretty shocked that he won. That was a very entertaining match with CM Punk and AJ Styles. I thought for sure. I would have put money on it that CM Punk was going to win that match. They would have him in Money in the Bank to help screw over Seth Rollins. Like that was it. He was going to screw over Seth Rollins because over his dead body, is he going to let Seth Rollins get that briefcase? Right? So that's where I thought he would be there.
There's this dude that's missing from the equation. His name is Roman Reigns, right? And so I think that at Money in the Bank, I think the return of Roman Reigns is going to come, and that's going to write itself with him and Seth Rollins being at each other's throat, and maybe CM Punk and Roman Reigns coming and forming a new Shield type thing. So I'm thinking of all the angles there that they could possibly go, but Triple H just isn't writing that good. You're right. I'm going to put in my application to become a part of the head writing team there because the stuff I think about, yeah.
I mean, you could have Roman Reigns, CM Punk come down, and they're trying to screw over Seth Rollins. You're already going to have Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed coming down at some point. And then you've got trying to think of who else is in there. I got that. Solo Sikoa. He's going to have Jacob Fatu show up, and JC Mateo. So
right.
We could have literal chaos because there's no disqualifications in the Money in the Bank, and everybody could come down to the ring if they want. And we got multiple people in this match that have their own posse that roll with them. So
yes. So this has the possibility of being a really good match coming up.
So we'll talk about that some more. So I wanted to get to NXT. Man, Ethan Page was really good this week on NXT. Him on the mic, his match was really good too, but him on the mic, I was like, maybe I hadn't given him a lot of credit prior to that, but man, when I heard him on the mic and he was talking that shit, I was like, damn. Like, yeah, this guy's got it. Like, man, this is a natural heel. Natural, I'm awesome and I'm better than you. And like, I just loved it. And being in a fatal four-way at Worlds Collide against Rey Fenix, Dragon Lee, and Javon Evans is in that.
Javon Evans, you pointed him out to me, and that dude is a real, he's a superstar in the making too.
Him and Nathan Frazier. When I watch those two dudes, they're like Logan Paul, like right there. Athleticism, crazy moves they can do. When I see them, it's like, wow, I've never seen someone do that. And that's what I really enjoy about watching them. So I am stoked to see Javon Evans again wrestle at Worlds Collide. I'll be definitely tuning into that since we've got multiple WWE superstars facing off against AAA superstars in that Worlds Collide earlier before Money in the Bank.
I really got present to the fact that unfortunately I'm not going to be able to watch Money in the Bank or Worlds Collide this week. However, I will be able to watch it after surgery, and I have some stuff to keep me entertained so long as people leave me alone in the hospital now, because now I'm thinking about it. I'm going to be definitely one to watch it and check it out.
I'll make sure not to send you any spoilers. That leads into the NXT women's division. Even with losing Julia, Roxanne Perez, and Stephanie Vaquer, is still freaking stacked.
Still stacked.
That promo they did was so good. And they get JC Jane out there with Fallon Henry, and I can't remember the other girl's name, but they get them out there. JC Jane is giving her spiel about I'm the champ and I beat the person who's unbeatable and I'm going to be awesome and all this stuff. And then they have woman after woman, superstar after superstar, come out and talk that shit. Right. I'm going to beat you. You're the most beatable champ. I've got this. You know, Jordan Grace came out. Kalani Jordan. Lash Legend came back. Jada Parker.
Parker did, yes.
All of them come out, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy cool. And then, and I'll definitely have to share my screen here. The surprise is everybody's talking. They all get their little bit. And then all of a sudden, we've got it'll show up here in just a sec.
Miss Glamorous
Mariah May. They put the lights go out. It goes dark. Spotlight shows up on her, and she is looking as gorgeous as ever. And she is ready to take the world by storm. I went back because I was like, I remember hearing about Mariah May. I maybe probably haven't followed her as much since she's in AEW, but I went back and started looking at some of the work her and Toni Storm did.
Yes,
dude, man, she is another superstar in the making. And now I'm like, is she going to be in NXT for 2 months? Is she going to be in NXT for 6 months? Is she going to be in NXT for a year? Like, that clock's already ticking. This, like,
right.
The merchandise, just. I'm
You're
like,
our
man,
new Booker T. You're our new Booker T right there.
I am Booker T, baby. I am. Booker T is like my spirit animal. Love that guy. Yeah, so I created a post and threw it up this week. I think threw it up Wednesday after she debuted. And my wife saw it and she was like, are you posting wrestlers or only fans models? And I was like, I mean, she was a model before she started wrestling. There was a nice photo of her in some nice lingerie, and that went well with the wrestling pictures. And she was just like, oh my gosh. And I was like, I know. I don't know where they find these women, but they're gorgeous and they can wrestle. Like,
your wife
amazing.
is super cool. Your wife is super cool that way, Pinky. So that's awesome. That's awesome.
She knows I'm not going nowhere. She knows I love her.
Right.
And she'll talk. And don't let her fool you. She will talk some trash too. She'll be like, I don't know what that girl was trying to do. She looked busted. Like, you know, so she'll talk her trash. So Mariah May is coming. Unfortunately, I think AEW owns that name, so she will not be bringing that over. They did not have a name for her yet. I know when they debuted Ricky Starks,
right.
For the first couple weeks, he didn't have a name. They finally changed it to Ricky Saints. So we will see what they do for Mariah May. But with the three beautiful women, Julia, Roxanne, and Stephanie, leaving, don't worry, guys. The NXT women's division is still got so much star power. It's crazy, man. Yeah, and a couple of them, I think Jordan Grace could come up immediately. I don't really know if there's anything for her to do down there.
Well, there's not really much for her to do up on the main card either right now. So to keep her fresh and keep her being a superstar, you put her down in NXT and let Shawn Michaels just continue to develop her in the best way possible. We primarily talk about WWE wrestling, but if you guys want to go and see some great matches, go back and look at Toni Storm versus Mariah May, and you'll get an idea of what we just acquired in getting Mariah May. She is a gritty, beautiful woman that can scrap. She's going to make it happen. And Toni Storm, she's getting ready to fight against Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks, in their upcoming all-in-one all-in match. Yeah. All-in that's coming up. And I will tell you this, Toni Storm is a superstar, and she made herself into that superstar. And I'm just going to segue for just a minute, Pinky. Right now, we're experiencing a bloodline breakdown in WWE. Triple H was so focused on carrying the bloodline story for the last 4 years is there's no stars really. There's a lot of people that are pretty good at doing what they do or good. But when you're at the top of the ladder, you have people like CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and we're not getting the young guys over. It's a problem. And so, with these NXT call-ups coming up here and everything like that, we really got to just pay attention and start to really unfocus ourselves. Because I don't know about you, Pinky, but when I think about watching the product right now, I miss the days of the Attitude Era, to where all of a sudden the glass breaks and it's like, what is Stone Cold going to do today? Whereas all of a sudden CM Punk's look in my eyes, and he's going to come out with a chair and he's going to swing a couple times at Seth Rollins and a couple times at Bronson Reed and a couple times but it's not really compelling. It's always going to be the same kind of fight. There's not going to be
formulaic. It feels very formulaic, like they're following the script,
right? And so it's
we're not getting that. Yeah, we're not getting that. What is that guy going to like? The Seth Rollins faction, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. Again, these guys should be whooping ass anytime, anywhere. Just doing it to do it because they can. We run this shit. This is our place. Boom. Go beat that ass. Like whoever, Sammy's in the back talking to Kathy Kelly. Boom, gets run over and getting whooped, right? You find him out by his car or something, right? Doing some of those old school things that we used to have during the Attitude Era. I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you. It's the last couple of weeks, it's like with the CM Punk and the whole Seth Rollins thing, you can almost guarantee Sami Zayn's coming out. Jey Uso's probably coming out. CM Punk's coming out. Like, it's been very, like, I already know it's going to happen. I know they're going to come out. I just don't know when. So yeah, I'm totally with you. All right, I'm going to start looking. I'm going to start hitting Triple H up. All right, Triple H, look. My man's got he's got great ideas. Just listen to the podcast. He'll give you some ideas for free, and then after that, he's going to charge you. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm going to charge you for sure. Paul Levesque, I've been watching you since you were, what's his name? Terrorizing. I remember when you first debuted in WCW and you came out looking all buff and stuff and everything like that and had no thing. I've been watching you, and I booked that you should become like a killer. And so here you are, killer. Now it's time to build other killers, because the Bloodline program was one of the best storylines in wrestling history. But now what? I remember crying when Sami Zayn was standing in the ring and he's across and he's getting ready to super kick Jey Uso at WrestleMania 39. I remember he has this look on his face like, I'm about to do this right now. Tears coming down my eyes, like you wrote the story perfect. Now what? Now what?
And
now what?
And maybe that's TKO. Maybe that's maybe he's got his hands tied when it comes to creative, that they're not letting him go full force. I don't know. There's a lot of rumors out right now. There's a lot of rumors that him and The Rock are feuding behind closed doors. The Rock's coming in and trying to tell like what should be going on, and Triple H is being like, no, I'm running this, and unfortunately, The Rock's on the board. He truly is the boss. He's on the board of TKO. So
maybe TKO stands for Tony Khan only. Today's this Raw this week, and to your point, the SmackDown this week were better. I'm still a little bit disjointed because it's predictable, it's stale. 2.6 million people watched Raw this week. How long before Netflix says this ain't what we signed up for?
I mean, they paid the money for like a 10-year deal, so the only power that Netflix has is being like, hey guys, like this needs to change. Like we expected this, but again, they're getting sponsored. Like, and that's the thing. That's what's tough. Like the viewers maybe aren't there on Netflix during the week, but afterwards, because you can watch it anytime. You got sponsors. You got everything in the ring is sponsored now. Like it's I think they're still making money. They're still making money. So
they're making a killing, but at the end of the day, is it sustainable? Anyway, continue on with your questions, because I just keep having these. It's not mind farts, but I'm just in the spot of like I'm an old fart that's watching product that ain't really hitting home entirely. But continue.
All right. Well, let's switch over and let's talk some Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank's happening this week. Saturday afternoon, we got Money in the Bank after Worlds Collide. And we've got we're going to talk about the two matches. I think one more match is going to be made available after tomorrow night. But there's only 4 matches right now. There's 2, and then there's the Money in the Bank for men and women. So I want to start out with the what could steal the show on Money in the Bank, and then it will be Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. This has been a really good feud. I do think the goal behind this has been to lift the profile of Lyra Valkyria. Would you agree with that?
I think that's their intention. I think that all right, Pinky, I'm gonna step in your Kool-Aid for a second.
Okay.
Becky's acting too hard to try to be this person that she naturally is. So instead of trying to be this person that's a heel, all she has to do is just be Becky Lynch. There's a lot of people that didn't like Becky Lynch over the last 5 years. She didn't need to be like, well, you're going to raise my hand and you're going to tell me that I am the champ. That right? She didn't have to do that. All she had to do is be like, I'm going to beat you because I'm better than you. And I'm going to end your career now. Like, you just change the context of it. And all of a sudden you have somebody that's going to be more relatable to. Whereas Becky Lynch, now it's kind of like, who are you trying to be when you grow up?
Yeah, I think a lot of people do love the man, and they're having a hard time getting people to boo her and making her whiny isn't helping.
Right.
So again, that's part of that. Like, I get it. All she has to do is come out and be a badass and beat the crap out of all the different women in the division. And she doesn't have to be, she doesn't have to be whiny and trying to overact in that case, right? She just has to come out and be the badass that she is. She's the man. Just like Charlotte Flair. When Charlotte Flair comes out and she's just Charlotte Flair, people don't like her.
People don't like her.
Becky can do the same thing. And so that's what's kind of unfortunate. I do feel like that's been what's been not great about this feud is the whiny Becky. But I would hope that you agree that I have seen more fans and more interest in Lyra Valkyria. Not me. I'm still like, whatever. Like, it hasn't really made a difference for me, but I do feel like she has risen her status with this feud.
But the problem is that there's no flair. I mean, she comes out and her music is, oh, hey, woo, woo. And then she comes out and does this thing. And then she gets in the ring and she wrestles well, right? But there's no hype to her. Her music, there's nothing that's making me want, like, I want to see her get her ass kicked. I want her to see her get some edge to her. I want to see somebody really just like make her mad, like go and do Ricky Steamboat and throw over the top rope and take out her larynx for a few months, right? Like, go do something harmful to Lyra Valkyria so she can come back with an edge. They're trying to give it to her, like on this past Raw. The thing that I noticed is that she came out to the ring, she stormed out to the ring, and she's like, Becky Lynch, I want to talk to you because I've now found my inner da 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 da, and so on and so forth. But the end game was it was still her being this vanilla product. I'll give you an example, right? So, like, as I'm saying this, you get what I'm saying, but
absolutely.
Stephanie Vauquer walks out to the ring to fight Lyra Valkyria. There's no doubt who everybody's going to be cheering for.
None. And I don't get it.
Liv Morgan goes out to fight against Lyra Valkyria. There's no doubt who everybody's going to be rooting for. Because she has no personality. There's no thing. Like when we talk about, like I've been sending you videos and stuff like that, and I've been trying to make a point. It's like the product is too freaking predictable. So you're going to Netflix where you have a greater audience. You have the opportunity to be able to capture people with, like, from the very first Netflix. Let's be honest, right? The Rock came out and he's like, "Hey, Cody, you're my buddy, man. It's been a long time." Well, what about that story where you were like, I'm gonna stomp your face in Mama Rhodes and all this sort of stuff, right? There's no continuity
exactly.
in regards to the brand. And people gave Vince McMahon, and yeah, I said Vince McMahon, a lot of heat for being a promoter that got really lost in the sauce. But the first thing that he never
carry us for a moment, Ron.
Okay, he never had the identity of like, I want to put all these advertisements in the ring. He never had like, I don't put my big guys and my people that are superstars on the lower end of things. He made his superstars, and he kept the ring pure. Right now, we have all of these people that are wanting to be, and that's just because of poor booking by Triple H. The biggest challenge is that we had the bloodline for a long time. Now we have the different incarnation of the bloodline because we have Solo Sikoa, we have Jacob Fatu and JC, and all of those guys, they're not the bloodline. You got Sami Zayn and Jey Uso going out in tag team matches fighting against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. The biggest challenge with all of that is that the story is disjointed. And in it being disjointed, what happens is the fans don't have anybody that they can really sink their teeth into. There was a time when we were in a situation back in the day to where when we had, like, they started doing this week, and I applaud them. They started doing little vignettes. When Stephanie Vauquer came out to the ring, they like let everybody know who she was a little bit. Like, this is her street cred. But like what happened missing is valuable interviews in the back. Like, there are people that are interviewing people in the back. They're not doing a very good job of building up, like, hey, like, for example, I'll give you a storyline that they could have done right now that would have written itself, and this guy wouldn't have had to go to NXT. We got another guy that's coming to WWE and will be coming here soon. And they would have fought with Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. And what would end up happening is all of a sudden, out of nowhere comes Ricky Starks from the other organization, very similar to the NWO. Like, they could have held that jewel and held it just a little while longer and brought him out so that it would have been like, whoa, Ricky Starks, he's in the WWE and everything like that. So now it starts to suspend reality of like, is this person an AEW guy or is he a WWE guy or whatever? Very similar to what we had in the early 2000s. So I had to carry for 7 minutes. It's your turn now. Let's go.
I appreciate you, brother. I'll have to tell you why when we're done. Becky's got to win this. I feel like when they put the stipulation of she can't challenge Lyra again if she loses, I feel like they're not going to want this feud to go away. So I think Becky will win. And then she'll get the Intercontinental title. That might be short-lived, but it starts to add, again, a little more prestige to the title when you've got a previous women's world heavyweight champion holding the Intercontinental title. So
have Bronson Reed or Braun Breaker come out and cost Lyra Velk if he joins Seth's group. That would be outstanding.
I don't know if they want to go that route, but they really should. You're absolutely right, man. They should absolutely go that route. Because it just makes sense. They're doing, they were doing media this week. I don't know if you caught it, but Seth and Becky were on the LA News doing the weather. Becky did actually a great job of the weather report. So, and then Rollins did Kay and Adams. And let me share the next thing. Oh, did Ron bounce? Oh, Ron had to bounce for a moment. So I'm going to carry the show. There he is. He's coming back. He's coming back.
I guess that was me. I was like, I can't hear you. And all of a sudden it was like, oh God.
All right. So we'll move forward. The next match to talk about, we've got Logan Paul and John Cena versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. And there's so many different things that we can do here. I have listened to quite a few talking heads this week, and a lot of the consensus is they didn't want Logan Paul and John Cena to have a match against each other right now, but they put them together so that more people will boo John Cena, because everybody's going to boo Logan Paul. That's what they do. He's good at it. He wants that smoke. He's like, yeah, boo me.
Yeah, bring it. Yeah,
bring it. I love it. It feeds me, gives me energy. How are you feeling about this match?
I think it's stupid. As I mentioned earlier, there's nothing at stake. Like, why are these four people in the ring with each other? It's going to be, they're all good wrestlers. And I'm going to give this nod. Logan Paul is the most exciting of the four wrestlers that are in that ring. When he's in the ring, I look forward to every single step that he takes inside of the match, because he's super intentional. He's super gifted in regards to how he's laying out his matches, and he delivers on spot without regards to his body or anything like that. He's just a superstar already.
Yeah, he's so good.
He's
so good. And I know the lock. I think there's quite a few people in the locker room that are pretty jealous about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you see Karrion Kross this week on Twitter had a video that he put out talking about it?
I didn't see it. Talk to me about it.
So in the video, he pretty much talks about just like kind of like how it's unfair that as a lot of the locker room, a lot of the wrestlers are brought up and they're told to do one thing, and Logan Paul's getting over for doing something else. Now, again, I think Karrion Kross is kind of forgetting. Logan Paul came in to this game being in front of a mic, being in front of a camera, being an influencer, trying to get clicks, trying to get views. Like, that's been his whole stick since he was a kid, right? So, yeah, of course he's really good at all that. Of course he's really good at building his brand. And that's kind of where Kross is kind of coming through and being like, we're not equipped for that because that's not how we were told to do things. Well, that's like, sorry, Kross. Like, I understand. Like, yeah, you have the creative that you've been dealing with didn't, they taught you how to wrestle. They taught you how to do things. They taught you how to work with your opponent. They taught you how to get on the mic. They taught you how to shoot a promo. And then you had to continue getting better at those skills. And unfortunately, this guy came in with all those skills already. Like, sorry, bro.
Well, it's kind of like this show, right? Like Smack Talking Raw. Like, a big thing about this show is that we're getting our groove with each other. We've been grooving with it for 2 months. You have somebody named Steve Austin that was a WCW wrestler that ended up going to ECW, and Paul Heyman gave him a microphone and said, "Hey, you got a grievance? Here's a microphone. Go do your thing." And Stone Cold Steve Austin came out in a Hulk Hogan outfit, and he just let it rip. That's what wrestlers need to do nowadays. They just need to let it rip. Like, here's the script, but this is what the frick is going to get me over. Karrion Kross comes out and he goes like this: cut the freaking music. You know what? I'm sick and freaking tired of being on the sidelines. Anybody back there in the back, I'll kick your ass right now. Right now. Anybody want to come out here, right? And it's off script. So everybody's like, well, what do we do? So they send somebody down there and they're like, this is brilliant. What's going to happen? Now, even the creative is like, I don't know what's going to happen. You got to grab the brass ring, which is what Vince McMahon talked about a long time ago, is that when you get the brass ring, you got to have some big grapefruits to go out there and grab it. And right now, that's the problem with the WWE, is nobody is willing to go and grab the big ones, because Seth Rollins and his group, awesome concept, failing miserably because they're trying to be the Bloodline 2.0. Scrap that and start something completely different. Completely different. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, that's what sells tickets, is the difference. Like, all of a sudden you have Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman show up. I remember when Roman Reigns, they pan to Paul Heyman, and then all of a sudden sitting next to Paul Heyman, they were panned to Roman Reigns, and then they panned to Paul Heyman, and they're like, ooh, what does that mean now, right? And they let it build for a little while. Then they had the match between Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, and Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns didn't even come out to the ring until the very end. And that's where he won the Universal title in the first place. And that started the whole Bloodline thing. Incredible storyline. Incredible storyline. Right now, what do we have? What do we have? We got John Cena's retirement tour.
We got John Cena's retirement tour. We've got Seth Rollins' faction and what they're going to do. Seth says he's going to lead us into the future, but how is he going to do that? What is he? What are they done? Is it only going to be the three of them? Are they going to add a fourth member? I mean, there's a couple things that are still interesting about it, but other than that, you're like, what other stories are going? And Karrion Kross, to be honest, like, he won't be here much longer anyways, because they don't even use him. I think
who would have been a better fit for that group but Karrion Kross, who's over than Bronson Reed, who kicked Seth Rollins' ass, and they never ended that story. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, Triple H. Give me something to, like, want to tune in. Like, I got date night with my wife, and I got to sneak away somehow, some way, so I can watch the match tonight because I can't miss it.
I've got the phone on right over here so she can't see it, with one headphone on my left ear that she can't see. And, like, yeah, right. Make it to where I have to see this, and they don't have it. So getting back to this one, because we still got the men's and the women's we got to cover before we cut out for the night. This doesn't make sense. You're absolutely correct. I'll still be entertained.
Of course.
I love Logan Paul. Jey Uso is fun. Cody's great. Seeing Cody and John lock up will be good. You know, that should be an interesting thing to see them lock up, because they really hadn't talked or gotten together until this last week when Cody came back. So should be a fun, interesting match. But like you said, the biggest thing is it has no stakes. There's nothing at stake. And if once they finish, kind of like the Cena R-Truth match, once it was finished, there wasn't anything at stake. And then, of course, Truth got fired on his day off.
How you get fired on your day off?
Love you, Truth. Love you, buddy. We'll have to maybe do a little more in-depth Truth on the next show and talk about his release and what we miss and the great things he's done in his career. Maybe we'll dive into that.
And Carlito
could see that one coming too, because they weren't having him wrestle at all. He was really being the strict comedic relief. And so, yeah, I could see that. Every time Judgment Day got out there, Finn Balor was in a match. He was either in a match with JD McDonough or with Dominic. So
I could see getting rid of the Alpha Academy and Ivy Nile and a bunch of other people over R-Truth and Carlito. At least they
Absolutely.
had some relevance, you know?
Well, and you could put R-Truth into anything. Anything.
Anything.
So,
All right, I digress. Go ahead. Let's get it.
so Cena and Paul win? No, they're going to lose. There's nothing at stake. They're going to lose.
I don't know. I think that Cena and Paul win because that carries the storyline moving forward. That Cody's lost now at WrestleMania. Now he's lost with Jey Uso, makes him the super underdog. So that later on down the line, I think that's how that plays out. That John Cena wins this match. There's nothing at stake for John Cena to lose, for sure.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's a weird one. So I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised. I'm trying not to go into the match with too much expectation. That way, one way or the other, I'm not leaving the match super angry.
Exactly. Okay.
Men's Money in the Bank. We got Solo Sikoa, Seth Rollins, El Grande Americano, Andrade, which is another interesting combatant in this match, Penta, and LA Knight. How's this going down, Ron?
Well, I think that LA Knight is the one that wins this one. He needs a rub. He needs it bad because he lost the United States title and really hasn't been up to anything. Penta's eventually going to be a tag team wrestler with his brother. Andrade, he's just there for like Kofi Kingston type antics. He'll go out there and do some really cool stuff. Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu is going to somehow interrupt that game. Seth Rollins is going to get interrupted by Roman Reigns or CM Punk or both. And El Grande Americano is an interesting prospect inside of that as well because he's one of those people that he's a wild card. But I think that LA Knight ultimately wins this match and he cashes in on John Cena to end John Cena's title reign in December.
So we've got one of the underlying things here is Penta and El Grande Americano have had a little bit of back and forth. And I could see that playing into a larger feud coming out of this match. But those three dudes, I think, are just going to do some really cool stuff. You are absolutely right. It's LA Knight. If it's not LA Knight, it's Seth Rollins. But at the end of the day, and we'll talk about it with the women's one as well. Does Seth Rollins need the briefcase to get a title match? That dude could literally just walk in and be like, I'm gonna wrestle for the title tonight. Okay. He's got to get a title match. He doesn't need the briefcase to do that. He can pull those strings very easily. Now,
very easily.
Can it be another device of now he's messing around with Cena? Now he's messing around with Jey? Yes. And then again, but I think with the faction, I feel like he could only go after Jey because if he goes after John, he's making John a hero again versus keeping him as a villain, as a babyface, or as a heel, I mean. It would turn him back babyface, I think, if Seth Rollins starts going after John Cena. So you're absolutely right. LA Knight makes the most sense. This is his third straight Money in the Bank. So it's time to give him that rub. And I think it's kind of interesting because LA Knight could go towards Jey Uso. He could go to John Cena. Both of those make sense. I don't see him holding that till December to cash in. I do think the Saturday Night Main Event in December is John Cena's last event. I feel like that's where Cody and John hook back up and Cody takes the belt back. Saves wrestling for everyone. So
and then LA Knight takes the belt from Cody Rhodes, and then that would be apropos. You know, it's one of those things, the feel good moment to the not feel good moment.
Yeah, it's really weird. I know the last Money in the Bank where Drew McIntyre, was it Drew McIntyre that won? whoever
Last
won
year?
didn't have it very long. Yeah, they cashed it in right away. Was it? Oh, it was Damian Priest. Man, I forget. I'm old,
Who
man.
won? Yeah, me too. Hold on. Who won Money in Bank 2024?
I know whoever got it cashed it in right away. And I don't want to see that. I think the opportunity is there, since both the World Heavyweight title and the Undisputed title are in a match together, probably going to headline. So the opportunity is there for a cash in, but I really don't want to see it. I want to see LA Knight really play that up.
It was Drew McIntyre. It was Drew McIntyre.
Okay. So Drew had the briefcase, tried to cash in, and if I remember right, CM Punk fooled him, took that away from him.
Yes.
So, all right. So yeah, this one I feel like it's pretty predictable. I just don't see how LA Knight doesn't win, because I don't think Seth Rollins makes sense. And is Penta World Heavyweight title and Undisputed title bound? Probably not. I love Penta. He's my dude, but yeah, he's probably not on that level. So, all right, let's move over to the ladies, and we will finish the show up. I'm super excited for this ladies Money in the Bank match. I'm thinking this will be the match of the night.
Yeah.
This is just stupid.
Stacked.
It's just stupid stacked. Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, Naomi, Julia, Roxanne Perez, and Stephanie Vaquer. Tell me, Ron, what's gonna go down?
So if you have my money on it, and I was going to make a bet on it, I'm going to say that Roxanne Perez pulls off the Miss Money in the Bank briefcase.
Okay. Why is that? What would be her avenue at that point?
Because she's conniving. She's in a thing with the Judgment Day, and with her Judgment Day has been kind of stale for a little while. Liv has got the tag team title. Raquel's got the tag team title. So it would give them dominance over the Monday Night Raw brand. In addition to, she's just an incredible wrestler. Giving Stephanie Vaquer the rub right now up front would be just too easy. It would be way too easy. So they got to make her chase for a little bit. Alexa Bliss, they got to make her chase for a little bit because she's just coming back. Rhea Ripley's had it recently. Naomi, she's in a thing with Bianca Belair. And Julia, she's that oddball again, where she could be the one to win, but she doesn't have that name notoriety yet. So the person that has the rub from Booker T, she's from his school. She's an incredible wrestler. She's in a great storyline with the Judgment Day and everything like that. My judgment is that Roxanne Perez is the winner of the women's Money in the Bank briefcase.
Okay. I love it. Roxanne could go right after Io Sky.
Right. What about you? What do you think?
I think Naomi's got to win this, man. Naomi's got to win it. Her heel run has been great. The feud with Bianca and Jade, that's where we can get. She can go after Tiffany Stratton, get that belt from her, and then we get into a brutal fatal 3-way between Bianca, Jade, and Naomi. And now Bianca's got to put aside her friendship with both of these ladies and whoop that ass, right? And I think Naomi getting the briefcase, then being able to cash in on Tiffany Stratton at some point would give us that ability to create that next level story. So that's where I think this will go. I'd love it if they give it to any of the three young ladies. I'm down with it. I see a lot of different directions we can go with that. But Roxanne Perez makes a lot of sense too. It is. I think I've heard the one guy talk about Summer of Judgment Day. Every summer, they kind of find a way to bring relevance back to Judgment Day, and that's what Roxanne has been starting to build the embers of that fire of bringing them back to relevance by building discourse in the group, right? Rhea Ripley, she just doesn't. She's just like Seth Rollins. She can walk into Adam Pearce's office and request a title match any damn day she wants. She doesn't need a briefcase. The only reason to give her the briefcase is if TKO wants to market Mommy in the Bank t-shirts, Mommy in the Bank briefcases, all of that. I think Tiffany Stratton had pink briefcases when she had it that they were marketing. So there's some money that could be made from Mommy in the Bank, but I just don't think she needs it. And I feel like that would be you. I know you mention it a lot, and you are right a lot when you call it out. That would be lazy writing. It'd be lazy writing to put it on Rhea because she doesn't need it. She can, she can go up.
Any of the other five could use it right now, and Rhea doesn't need it. I wanted to add one more thing before we go off the air, and I just want you to think about this because this is incredible booking in my mind. It would be incredibly awesome to have a wrestler that would be like Doctor Who, and that person would transcend all generations. So like Doctor Who's, like I'm just calling him Doctor Who, but he would be a wrestler in this era. When he retires, there's another person that this character jumps into that body so they can continue to perpetuate the story for eons. So that they would always have, like Doctor Who, they would always have their fans and everything like that.
Okay. Now, so like a character that, a certain individual runs that story with that character for so long, and then another person takes that character and keeps on going.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I could get behind that. That'd be pretty fun. I think it would create some weirdness because Doctor Who, the weirdness on Doctor Who is when they do change the actor who's playing Doctor Who, there's always a little bit of backlash because there's been a lot of iterations where the Doctor Who actor does such an amazing job, puts their spin on it, you fall in love with that guy, and then before you know it, they move to the next Doctor, and now you've got to fall in love with that character again, right? That actor that's playing that character. That'd be pretty wild, Ron. I could get behind that.
Triple H, I'm here and available, brother. Anytime that you want to get some writing that would just like take it to the next level, I'm here right now for free. But like after I get you to a next level participation, I'll let you do it out today, my friend. We got a kidney transplant coming up on Tuesday. I will be gone for at least 1 week and maybe 2. But I want you guys to know that everybody in the Smack Talking Raw community and atmosphere, we're going to come up with like our own little games, our STRs. There it is. Our STRs. We're really appreciative of everything that you do in watching these videos. Get the word out, drop a like, drop a comment, tell us that we're full of it, tell us we're on it. We love it either way. But if you don't like this show, I got to tell you 2 words. And Pinky, let's get ready to do this.
Let's get it, baby. Woo! Yeah.
See you in a couple weeks, guys.
We're out.